my online practice website, it's more than a practice website. Yes, it has practice tests for students, but it also has learning resources. And one of the challenges of chemistry education at the high school level for students is the ability to connect the different concepts together. Because chemistry is a subject that includes a lot of interrelated ideas, and it's difficult to progress in one area if you are weak in other areas. So what I try to do is to present resources that help students with that skill to be able to make interconnections to see how concepts are related across the board. I also have other resources that I will continuously upload to the system. So that will include teaching videos and other resources as well. But as it stands, students can log on, pay for their subscription, their annual subscription, practice chemistry questions depending on which topic that they want. They could choose those, and each question comes with direct, instant feedback to let the students know where their weak areas are and what they need to do to strengthen those. And if they get the questions correct, they get a bunch of supporting details to help them to be more assertive, more confident if they should see a similar question in the future.
And so this is a relatively new resource. I believe it became available just in February 2022. And as you said, you're going to continue to add content and enhance the site. I think it's worthwhile to check it out, especially if you have a student or are a student who is in that last 2 years of high school doing chemistry. So just, as your experience as an educator, do you think it's ever too late for a student to take on a complex subject like chemistry?
It could be if that student shies away from self-directed learning skills. So it does take a little bit of effort for a student to develop positive, intrinsic motivational habits. Tell yourself, I can do it, I got this, those kind of things. But also to develop self-directed learning skills, including creating their own notes and checking in with their teachers periodically, building good study habits, building relationships with other students out there, networking with other students out there. So if a student does not like those things, they're not going to find it easy to adjust. But if a student has some or just basic self-directed learning skills and they are driven to be successful, they can do well in chemistry.
And so chemistry, as I recall, has a lot of memorization to it in terms of memorizing formulas, the periodic table, which is a big bugbear. What are some strategies that students can use to have that recall available in a subject like chemistry?
Right, so I'm going to go from the beginning. So in approaching a lesson, a student wants to take a look at the topic in a textbook of some sort or some kind of resource. That student may not be able to understand the concept fully at that point, but at least they are familiarizing themselves with what they don't know. So they are kind of zooming in on specific areas. Once they are in the instruction, then they need to raise those concerns in a productive way with other learning partners and also with the teacher. So in that way, they are taking ownership of your learning. And then making notes afterwards to kind of zoom in and writing off what they know, what they don't know, and keeping basically a progress report on themselves. Pick up patterns. The atomic number of an element, for example, calcium, would always be 20. And from that number, there are so many spin-offs that they can benefit from if they know how to make the interconnections. So from that atomic number, they can get what kind of chemical reactions calcium will participate in, what to do in terms of analyzing mathematical relationships as it relates to calcium, where it falls in the periodic table, and its potential physical and other chemical properties. So just by knowing that the atomic number of calcium is 20, they can make many connections. And so one of the things that I encourage my students to do, and I help them to do, is to have doodle notes, right? So doodle notes, the kind of thing where you make one little box on a page with some information in it, and then you try to connect as many information as you know in other boxes surrounding that one box. And it doesn't have to be a box, right? I'm just saying box, but it's a way of graphically organizing your notes in a fun way according to how you learn. And then nothing is wrong with running off some of these study times with a partner. So you practice with a partner. What's the mass number of this element? Where can I find it in the periodic table? What kind of ion does it form when it tries to become stable? And it goes on like that. So having a good study partner is a way to go for doing excellent in chemistry.